Change is not a force to be feared, but an opportunity to be embraced. A wise sage. Have you ever wondered why, despite your deepest desires for change, for improvement, you find yourself standing still? Why can you read books, watch videos, and even make plans? But when the time comes to take action, something within you hesitates, holds you back, and sabotages the progress. This isn't just procrastination, it runs deeper. It's a battle with your own fears, your unmet needs, and your deepest desires for transformation. Yet the same forces that keep you stuck can also be the ones that, when understood, lead to your greatest growth. Today, we'll unravel this internal conflict, the gap between who you are and who you wish to become. We'll explore what stops you and, more importantly, how to turn your greatest fears and deepest desires into your greatest strengths. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on a philosophical journey to discover what it really takes to change, how to step out of the loop and into your highest potential. Inertia, it's a concept we often think of in the physical world. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by an external force. But what about emotional and spiritual inertia? Why do we, as human beings, resist moving forward, even when we're dissatisfied with where we are? For many, this inertia is fear, masquerading as comfort. You tell yourself you're safe where you are, that staying put is easier than venturing into the unknown. But the truth is, stagnation is the soul's slow death. You yearn for change, yet at the same time, the uncertainty of what lies ahead sends shivers down your spine. It is this very conflict, the pull between comfort and growth, that keeps you stuck. One of the deepest reasons why people fail to take action is fear. But this fear isn't always loud. It can be a whisper in the back of your mind, a faint feeling that surfaces when you're faced with a decision, or the thought of stepping out of your comfort zone. Here's a reality check. Fear isn't your enemy. Fear, when understood, can be one of the greatest catalysts for change. It tells you where your soul wants to grow. Think about it. What is it that you fear most in your journey towards self-improvement? Is it the fear of failure, the fear of success, or the fear of not being enough? These fears reveal areas of your life where you are resisting growth. Instead of running from them, imagine facing them head-on. What if, instead of dreading the fear, you thanked it? What if you could see fear as a signpost guiding you toward your greatest growth? Start journaling about your fears. Write them down. Acknowledge them. Understand that these fears are the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The second major reason why people remain stagnant is a conflict between their desires and their need for safety. You want change, you crave transformation, but a part of you clings to what is familiar, even if it's unfulfilling. The paradox here is that you want to grow, but growth inherently requires you to leave behind what's known. It's this very tension that many people experience. You may deeply desire a new career, better health, or more fulfilling relationships, but pursuing those desires often requires taking risks that might feel unsafe. What if safety isn't about holding on to the familiar, but about cultivating inner security? The truth is, external circumstances will always change, and the external world is never fully within your control. However, inner safety, knowing that you can handle whatever life throws your way, is something you can nurture. When you cultivate inner resilience, safety is no longer something you seek in the outside world. You begin to trust that no matter what happens, you can move forward, you can grow. And with that shift, change becomes less frightening. Begin practicing mindfulness or meditation to cultivate a sense of inner calm and safety. This will allow you to navigate change with less fear and more trust in yourself. There is an often ignored truth in personal growth. The pain of staying stuck can eventually become greater than the pain of changing. Imagine this. You're sitting in a room that's slowly filling with water. At first, the rising water level is uncomfortable, but manageable. Yet over time it becomes unbearable. You're forced to either swim or drown. This is where many people find themselves. They've been in the same situation, be it a job, relationship, or habit, for so long that it starts to suffocate them. The dissatisfaction becomes overwhelming, and the discomfort of staying the same eventually pushes them toward change. Pain is a powerful motivator. Instead of avoiding it, lean into it. Ask yourself, what is the pain of not changing costing you? Is it your happiness, your health, your peace of mind, your relationships? The more you can connect with this pain, the more motivated you'll be to take action. But don't just stop there. Let this pain fuel your fire for growth. When the discomfort of staying stuck becomes greater than the discomfort of change, you'll find yourself ready to move forward. Actionable insight. Take inventory of your life. Identify the areas where you feel stuck. How is this stagnation affecting your overall well-being? Let this awareness push you toward action. In today's world, we've become conditioned to expect instant gratification. We want change and we want it now. But real, lasting change doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, persistence, and the willingness to embrace the journey. This desire for quick results can often lead to a cycle of starting and stopping. You begin a new project or a self-improvement plan, but when you don't see immediate results, you give up, convincing yourself that it wasn't worth it or that you're not capable of change. One of the most common reasons people give up on self-improvement is because they're too attached to the end result. They want to lose weight, gain confidence, or achieve success, and when these goals aren't met quickly, they lose motivation. The key to lasting change is to focus on the process, not the outcome. When you fall in love with the daily actions, the small steps you take every day, change becomes inevitable. You may not see the results immediately, but trust that they're coming. Set small, achievable goals that focus on daily actions rather than big, far-off results. Celebrate the process and trust that the results will follow in time. Another reason many people don't take action is the presence of an inner critic. This voice whispers in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve success, or that you're bound to fail. This inner critic isn't inherently bad. It's trying to protect you. It's a voice rooted in past experiences, traumas, or beliefs about yourself that were formed long ago. But just because the voice is there doesn't mean it's telling the truth. The inner critic often emerges when you're on the cusp of change because, in a way, it wants to keep you safe. But safety, as we've discussed, isn't always found in staying the same. Rather than fighting this voice, try befriending it. Thank it for trying to protect you, but kindly let it know that you're ready to grow. When you approach your inner critic with compassion rather than hostility, it loses its power over you. Actionable insight. Practice self-compassion. When the inner critic shows up, acknowledge it, but don't let it control your actions. Remind yourself that growth is a journey, and it's okay to feel fear along the way. If this resonated with you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're ready to dive deeper into your journey of self-transformation, join our vibrant Patreon community where we explore these concepts more intimately. The life you want is on the other side of action. Will you take that first step today? We'll go deeper into how to translate the lessons into actionable steps and build long-term habits that stick. One of the sneakiest barriers to personal growth is perfectionism. At first glance, striving for perfection seems like a noble pursuit. You set high standards for yourself because you want to succeed, to be the best version of yourself. But there's a hidden danger here. Perfectionism is often just another way of avoiding action. When you believe you must have everything figured out before you start, you set yourself up for paralysis. You wait for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, or for you to feel perfectly ready. But the truth is, those moments rarely come. Perfectionism convinces you that unless you can guarantee success, it's better not to try at all. But let's flip that idea on its head. Embrace imperfection and the messy process of growth. Growth is rarely linear. It's often messy, filled with false starts, missteps, and lessons learned through failure. And that's okay. In fact, that's how it's supposed to be. What if, instead of demanding perfection from yourself, you embraced progress? What if, instead of seeing failure as something to be avoided, you saw it as a necessary step on your journey? The most successful people in the world didn't get there by being perfect. They got there by showing up, learning from their mistakes, and adjusting their approach. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be willing to start. Actionable insight. Take imperfect action. Set a timer for 10 minutes and work on something you've been putting off, knowing it doesn't need to be flawless. The goal is progress, not perfection. Another common reason people struggle with self-improvement is that they're trying to make changes without shifting their underlying identity. For example, you might try to develop the habits of someone who's productive, but deep down, you still identify as someone who's easily distracted or lazy. Your actions will always be consistent with the way you see yourself. If you want to create lasting change, you need to start seeing yourself as the kind of person who embodies the traits you're striving for. Rather than focusing solely on what you need to do, ask yourself, who do I need to become? If you want to be healthier, don't just focus on exercising. Focus on becoming a person who makes health a priority. If you want to be more successful, don't just focus on external achievements. Focus on becoming the kind of person who is disciplined, focused, and resilient. When you shift your identity, your actions naturally follow. You no longer have to force yourself to behave in certain ways because your behavior aligns with who you believe yourself to be. Actionable insight. Write down 3 characteristics of the person you want to become. How does that person think? How do they act? Start embodying those traits today, even in small ways. Have you ever noticed that your environment has a huge influence on your behavior? Think about it. When you're in a cluttered, chaotic space, it's harder to feel focused and clear. When you're surrounded by people who aren't interested in growth, it's harder to stay motivated. Your environment is like the soil in which you plant the seeds of your goals. If the soil is toxic, your growth will be stunted. But if you intentionally cultivate a supportive, nourishing environment, your progress will flourish. Your environment includes not only your physical space, but also the people you surround yourself with and the media you consume. If you want to create lasting change, it's crucial to align your environment with your goals. This might mean decluttering your space, surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you, or cutting back on media that drains your energy or perpetuates negative habits. Take stock of your environment. Are there things, people, or habits in your current environment that are holding you back? Make one small change today to align your surroundings with the person you want to become. The importance of accountability and community. Another major obstacle people face when trying to improve themselves is isolation. You can have the best intentions, the clearest goals, and the most solid plan. But if you don't have accountability, it's easy to fall off track. Humans are social creatures, and we thrive when we have support and encouragement from others. Don't go it alone. Building a support system around your goals is one of the most powerful ways to stay on track. When you know that someone else is watching, supporting, or holding you accountable, you're far more likely to follow through on your commitments. This doesn't mean you need to announce your goals to the world, but it does mean finding 1 or 2 people who can check in with you, encourage you, and hold you accountable to your highest self. It could be a friend, a mentor, or even an online community of like-minded people. Reach out to someone today and share one of your goals. Ask them to check in with you in a week or 2 to see how you're progressing. Accountability is a game changer. In the world of self-improvement, it's easy to get caught up in the short term. The immediate changes, the quick wins, the daily grind of trying to be better. But to truly create lasting change, you need a long-term vision. You need to know where you're headed and why it matters. Having a clear vision of your future self not only gives you something to aim for, but also helps you navigate setbacks and challenges along the way. When you know why you're doing something and how it fits into the bigger picture of your life, you're more likely to stay committed, even when things get tough. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? In 10 years? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of impact do you want to have? When you have clarity on these bigger questions, the day-to-day actions you need to take become much clearer. It's not about having a rigid plan, but about having a direction. You can adjust course as you go, but having a North Star, a clear sense of where you want to end up, will keep you moving forward, even when the path gets rocky. Take some time to write a vision for your life 5 years from now. What do you want to have accomplished? What kind of person do you want to be? Let this vision guide your daily actions. We've covered a lot of ground today. From overcoming fear and perfectionism to shifting your identity and creating a supportive environment, you now have a roadmap for turning your deepest desires into real, lasting change. But remember this, change is not a destination. It's not something you achieve once and then you're done. It's a journey, a continuous process of growth, learning and evolution. You will have setbacks, you will face challenges, but each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. Don't wait until you feel completely ready. Start now, right where you are. Take one small action today and another tomorrow. Before you know it, you'll have built momentum, and the changes you once thought impossible will start to feel within reach. You've got this. The life you want, the person you want to become, is already within you, waiting to be realized. So, will you take that first step today? Small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results. Robin Sharma. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to like, comment and subscribe. Share your thoughts with us. What change are you ready to embrace today? And if you're looking for deeper support, consider joining our vibrant Patreon community. Details are below, where we dive even deeper into these topics, offering you guidance, accountability and encouragement every step of the way. The time for change is now. What will you do with it?